Hi, I'm Tamala, and I don't really know how to start this video. I feel called to come up with some way to share my story of how I of how I got from what seemed like a literal hell life to to this kind of state of more of a peaceful existence that I'm now in. That there are definite major lengths of time where I could not have fathomed I could have made it to. I I want I don't want to just be here by myself. I don't want to just have this peace by myself because I remember what it feels like to go through the things that I went through. I remember the ramifications of those things. I remember all the times of not wanting to be here, of thinking I couldn't survive. And if there's anything that I could say, anything I could do to help any one of you have even a slightly easier time on your journey, I really want to do that. The thing is, it's hard. I don't know the magic combination to give you, so I've been putting it off. I keep thinking about it over and over and over and over, and I keep hearing a song. Um, what is it? Something like start at the beginning, a very good place to start. Um, so maybe that's where I should start with you. Um, and it might not apply to all of you, you know. For some of you, your traumas didn't start in the beginning, but for others, like me, yours did, and this video might apply to you. So, for me, my my father, my biological father, decided to I don't want to say induce my mother, but abuse my mother while she was pregnant. And I guess he was upset about something, and she went into labor prematurely. They tried to stop it and did for a little bit, the hospital. Um, but then a little bit later, like a couple of days or so, she ended up going into labor, and um, I was born like a month and a half early. Um, and the doctors did not think I was going to survive. And I think that's important for the first piece of my advice to you is I don't have proof of this, but I believe that a key tenet is deciding that you want to live. Because I choose to believe that infant me decided that they wanted to live. My mom wasn't a good parent. She just wasn't. She had some moments where she was okay, but by and large, she just wasn't maybe cut out to be a parent. But she did used to call me her miracle. maybe in the beginning she wanted to try. I struggled with existence at first. She said that when she first got a hold of me, I could fit in the palm of her hand. In my family, we have big babies. So for a baby to be able to fit in the palm of their hand, like, I must have been quite small. Um, Eventually, I was able to leave the hospital, but I still struggled. I also was blind. I couldn't see. I would call like some shadows and stuff before I had my eye surgery. But I think this can apply to anybody who's watching this, if you're watching this, even if you weren't born premature, that a key thing is deciding that you do want to be here, that you do want to live, that you do want to survive, because that's step one. You're not going to go much farther if you don't make that first step. I personally think that I wanted that because like I was fascinated by like life and death as a child. Um, the concept of it as early as I could remember. Like, and like the thought of like giving up life or choosing not to be alive was extremely distressing to me as a young child. Like, I remember watching um, Cats on PBS during one of um, their little drive things that they used to have, and um, that one old cat was singing Memories, and she was getting ready to go off to be reincarnated, and that was very bothersome to me. Um, that she was going to give up all of her memories and give up her life, um, and all of that. I did not like that concept at all at the time, and you know, things like that was difficult for me. But I will say that there came a point later on in my life, during what I would call my dark year, um, in my when I was like 21, I was like between 20 and 21, where like everything kind of came to like a major head, and I was in what now I know is burnout and a major depressive episode. And I had been depressed for a long, long time and experiencing bouts of burnout for quite a while without any kind of support. And it was really, really, really bad. Like, literally everything looked dark, and it felt like I was in this cage, like a wild animal, like in this cage, like, and it felt like torment. Like, it felt like torment because I wanted to live. I realized I wanted to live, but I didn't believe that I could have any good future because of everything I had experienced before. Um, and that felt like torment. And I remember sitting in my shitty room and having circumstances be really awful around me and feeling so, so hopeless and so, so tired. And being like, I've wanted, I've been facing this for a long time and I just haven't been willing to admit it. All the not wanting to wake up, all the exhaustion. And then I realized there was still a part of me that hoped that there was a chance that I could find a way to really live despite everything that had happened. And I wanted that if there's even a chance, I wanted to take it, that I did not want to give up, and as long as there was even the smallest bit of hope, that I couldn't give up. And that, to me, is kind of a pivotal point in my journey. And I think hope is really important. I think hope can be so foundational. And I didn't have a lot of resources. I was really poor. I wasn't able to work. I could barely get out of bed. I remember at that point, like, I found a group where it was for young people, and I went to it, and it was like, they would talk about how they didn't like their parents and stuff, and like, I was questioning whether or not I wanted to even be around, and like, I couldn't even participate in the exercises that they had. Like, they wanted me to do like a mindfulness exercise, and I couldn't even participate in it because of all the trauma I'd experienced. And like, when I tried to do it, like, it was so trauma inducing. Um, like, it just wasn't a good fit, but like, I was trying to do anything because I felt like my life was literally on the line. But it was the only thing that I could afford that was available to me. I remember there was one marriage and family counselor that I was eligible to see, and I would prepare myself for days in advance just to be able to leave the house, and I would walk to the appointment. And I remember him telling me that he didn't think there was anything wrong. And I remember thinking, like, how is this person thinking that there's nothing wrong? Like, how can they not think that there's anything wrong? Like, I'm like dying here. Like I'm like reaching out. But I think that's another thing, is that I kept reaching even though what was being offered was shit. Because it wasn't really about what was being offered. Like, it was a choice, and that's what I decided. It wasn't that group or that counselor. It was a choice to get up out of my house and to say, I'm going to choose to do something to try to say, I want to save my life today. A symbolic gesture saying that I choose life today. And like, yeah, I get it. Like, I've had really good experiences since then, had some other bad experiences, and the good ones really do help a lot more. But sometimes that choosing yourself, choosing you, choosing to do something for yourself, regardless of like the outcome, the choice itself, that matters. Another thing that I did was I recognized that during that time, like, I was not capable of working, and I did get onto disability during that time, which I was really lucky, because I know a lot of people cannot get on disability, and I know disability is pretty much going away now, and like, things are crazy right now, and you know and things are hard, And that's real. That is real. But I do think that choosing to take little steps, little symbolic gestures, saying that I'm going to attempt to make it, I'm going to attempt to survive. And survival, you have to bring it down to your base levels. Like, I need shelter, I need food, I need water, I need safety, I need to be cool or warm. And then there's other needs, as well that can go on top of that. But like, sometimes you just bring it down to basics. And that might not seem like enough to begin with, but you can build out from there. And I'm not saying that's what your whole life should be, and that's not where you should stop at all. I'm just saying that sometimes, like, if you're in a shit situation, and I've been in a lot of them, sometimes you start at the very beginning and you work your way out. And I'm telling you that as somebody who has experienced homelessness before and like a fuck ton of variety of abuses, and who has literally believed that, like, from like abuse from like everyone, from like family to supposed, like, I most of the time I didn't have friends, but like when people were supposedly friends, they weren't friends, from other adults, like just like all kinds of people. And like okay, I understand things not being safe. I understand things being, I grew up extremely, extremely poor. Like, we could get into that another time. Like, I understand things not being safe. I understand things being hard. I get it. And that's what I'm saying. Sometimes you got to take care of your base needs first. And I'm also saying, like, I'm not living in the lap of luxury. I'm disabled. I have struggles. Like, there are things that I want still, but I'm telling you that I'm still here, and I have a peace that I did not think I could have. I have hope that I have on the outside that I did not think I could ever feel like this, even in like these crazy fucking times, and like, and things are a lot better, and I've come a lot farther than like the odds say that I should have been able to. And I believe that things can get better for you too. And at the very least, you deserve to bet on yourself. You deserve your best chance. But you have to decide to fight for yourself. And that doesn't mean it's easy. And it doesn't mean it's fair. I guess I just want to say that I'm living proof that things can improve, that things can get better, that there are ways forward, that you can do it even when it feels impossible, even when it feels like you're not even moving. You can get through the hard times. You really can. And I want to help you get through those hard times as best as I can. And I don't know that I'm going to do it perfect. I'm a little spiritual, so I've been kind of talking a little bit to the primordial being Nyx to help me with this. about, like, I'm a little bit of a perfectionist. I'm also, that probably stems a bit from my autism. Um, my chaos probably stems from my ADHD. Blame it on the ADHD. But it's just like, I don't know if I'm saying this right. I don't know if anybody's gonna listen. Like, I hope this helps somebody. Like, and maybe this video doesn't, but maybe the 100th video will. You know, maybe I don't even have to get to 100. Maybe the 50th video does, or the 20th video. Like, maybe I scrap this format and I come up with another. I've come up with so many different ideals, and some of them are really cuckoo. But I'll tell you about some of them later. But, like, you know, I've been thinking a long time about sharing things, and part of it is like, who wants to listen about me? But the thing is, like, why would you listen to my advice if you don't know that I've been through it? You know? So it's kind of like a catch-22. Like, you kind of need to know a little bit about what I've been through to know that my advice that I'm giving is solid, and that doesn't mean it'll work for all of you, but it might work for some of you. Anyways, I think that's enough for today, but I really do care. From the little child in me to the little child in you, I love you, and I really wish you the best.